We have finally made it to the playoffs for our Rocket League tournament, and this week we're bringing you all the highlights. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the State Champs Esports Show. I'm your host Candace, and we've got an exciting show lined up for you today. We are breaking down all three matches from our first round of high school Rocket League playoffs. But first, I'd like to remind you to visit l2athletics.com to recruit yourself to Lawrence Tech's new varsity esports team. And to keep yourself fueled up while gaming, head over to hungryhowies.com, the home of the original flavored crust pizza. This week, we wrapped up the first round of playoffs from the second annual State Champs Esports Rocket League tournament presented by Lawrence Tech. Coming out on top of the regular season standings is Detroit Catholic Central, who went undefeated and automatically advanced to the semifinals. In our first playoff match, last year's Rocket League champions Macomb's Dakota High School faced the rookie team from Clawson. Dakota finished the regular season with a 4-2 record and were the clear favorites over Clawson, who came in at 1-5. The highly skilled and experienced Dakota team took the best of 5 series in straight sets. In fact, they even managed to shut out Clawson in the first 2 games 12-0 and 9-0. The series-winning Game 3 ended with an equally lopsided final score of 9-1. We thank Clawson for participating in their first ever tournament and expect a great future ahead for this young all-sophomore team. We'll have more Rocket League highlights later, but right now we'd like to preview some amazing indie games that have been getting rave reviews. We've spotlighted several indie games this year on the show, including Dead Cells, Fall Guys, Among Us, and many more. Here are a few of the best indies from the past few years. Up first is the award-winning Cuphead, which has been hailed as a brilliant masterpiece.
The devil's broke. You can play at your home, but now here's something rich.
Next is Overcooked, which has been called one of the best multiplayer games that is a blast to play with close friends and family. If you're looking for a little bit of lighthearted fun, and who isn't right about now, give the absolutely silly Untitled Goose Game a spin. For those who need more action in their indies, try playing as a nameless assassin in the gritty and stylish Katana Zero. And finally, there's Night in the Woods that has pulled in players with its rich story, dialogue, and characters. Now let's get back to some more Rocket League highlights. The second playoff showdown also featured an established esports program going up against an inexperienced first-year team. Dearborn's Divine Child High School came into the playoffs tied with Dakota at 4-2, while their opponents from Royal Oak finished the regular season winless. These two teams faced each other in the regular season, and the results were the same, with Divine Child sweeping Royal Oak in 3 games. Divine Child moves on to face Dakota in the semis, and it should prove to be a very competitive series. We'd also like to thank the ladies from the Royal Oak team who never gave up even though they failed to prevail in any of their matches. Hopefully we'll see this young team again next season. We take another break from our Rocket League coverage with a look at some remastered classic games.
Kevin with you for this week's game review, and we go back to the mid-90s for this one. A couple of LucasArts point-and-click games from the adventure genre. Obviously, Star Wars was one of the great things to come out of the LucasArts game studios, but they have produced some quality games such as Monkey Island, and today we look at The Day of the Tentacle and Full Throttle. both remastered and available across most platforms, and is included with Xbox Live's Game Pass. You'll be traveling back in time in the Day of the Tentacle to stop the evil purple tentacle from taking over the world. Solve those puzzles and help Bernard and friends to stop Dr. Fred's creation. And next up is 1995's Full Throttle. A little tidbit here, Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker, lends his voice just like he has with the Joker in the many Batman games out there. The plot has an aging motorcycle company owner who is near death and is afraid of the VP taking over. The two run into a gang on their way to the shareholder meeting. Now, I don't want to give away any more spoilers with this because this one is a good one. If you are looking for something different from today's style of games, check out these games right now. I'm Kevin, good luck, and have fun.
The last playoff series of the week was between two teams from Rockford High School who tied each other in the regular season, both with 3-3 records. Since these teams were the most evenly matched of the week, it's no surprise that these games proved to be the most exciting. Rockford 1 took on an early 3-goal lead with the first game, but Rockford 2 kept it competitive with a pair of goals from Psycho Waffle. Rockford 2 dropped the first match with a final score of 6-2. Rockford 2 went ahead early in the second game, and it was an edge of your seat back and forth until the final seconds as Grape and Bimax 481 pulled out the victory for Rockford 1. Game 3 was do or die for Rockford 2, which once again scored first thanks to the amazing steal and follow-up from Ironside guard. Grape quickly tied it up for Rockford 1 with this explosive maneuver past all three of his opponents. The score remained tied 1-1 until Grape got what proved to be the game-winning goal with less than a minute left on the clock. So Rockford 1 advances to the semifinals and faces our regular season champs, Detroit Catholic Central. And in our other semifinal, Divine Child goes up against last year's champions, Dakota High School. We'll be back next week with a recap of our semifinals and championship matches. Best of luck to all the remaining teams. Before we go, I want to encourage everyone to go to our website at statechampsesports.net to sign up for our first ever Overwatch tournament, which begins in January. We are brought to you by Lawrence Tech and Hungry Howie's, and we thank them for their support. We'll see you all next time.